Nam mô Bổn sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật.
Namo Sakyamuni Buddha,
Quý sư cô,
dear
cùng
monastics
toàn thể.
and all Zen practitioners.
Và giờ này là
And
buổi
this is the time
ngày thứ
for
tư tuần
our Dharma
6
talk,
năm 2025.
the
Thì
fourth day of
sư
our
cô
June
giải đáp
retreat of
một câu hỏi.
2025. So this is the time that we're gonna ask question or comment about your practice.
Chúng ta những người học Phật,
We are the
chúng ta luôn
Buddhist
thực hành cái chánh pháp.
followers
Và
or
cái
Buddhist,
giải thoát
the Buddha
là
students.
Phật, nghĩa là giải thoát. Phật không phải là dẫn đến
The Buddha is
cũng không phải
means the
là
awakened one, liberate from all the
thuyết,
suffering.
không phải một cái vị
The Buddha,
cái
he is not
đấng
a
là
theologist.
Phật
He's not a
giúp chúng
religious,
ta đi đến cái chỗ giác ngộ,
but
giải
he
thoát hoàn
was the
toàn.
one who helped us to resolve
Đối
our
với
birth
người
and
học
death.
phải luôn luôn hành đúng với lại cái
So as a Buddhist followers, we need to practice and understand the right way.
phân ra tiểu thừa, trung
So
thừa,
in Buddhism, we
cái nhất
separate
thể đại khái là
out
nắm cái cơ bản
the
trên cái Phật pháp
Hinayana
chúng ta thực hành.
or traditional Buddhism
Và ở chỗ nào
and Mahayana,
giống như ở trong
or
kinh
we
điển
call
Đức Phật cũng có
the
nói
Northern
năm thứ bậc
Buddhism. So there are the five
cái nghĩa
kind
là
of practitioners.
tiểu thừa
The first one is
thuần tánh
the outsider Buddhism.
thứ tư
The second one is the
là
traditionalist Buddhism. The third one is the Mahayana tradition,
thứ năm là
Mahayana
thành tựu
practitioner.
bất định.
And the fourth one is
Và
the
giữa tất cả
Bodhisattva
cái
path practitioners.
nhân duyên
And the fifth one is kind of a undecided Buddhist.
cái nghiệp thức á, gì thì nó sẽ có cái
So
tương đương với lại cái
if we know that
giá của nghiệp thức
the
đó.
karma
Nếu người ta chỉ chuyên hướng về
uh,
cái
understanding,
mặc dù
if
là
we
theo
sow the
Phật giáo
seeds of
nhưng mà hàng ngoại
practice
đạo suy nghĩ
in
rằng
Buddhism,
sống trong cái vô minh, sống trong cái
some
chấp á,
people from the
thì giác tu
Buddhist
bao giờ cũng là ngoại đạo.
tradition,
Tại vì sao?
but they
Tại Phật
practice
cũng là một nhà ngoại đạo.
with the outside
Nếu
tradition
chúng ta
or
sơ sửa
other religion tradition, even though they
bây giờ
label
chúng ta
themselves
A
as
La
Buddhists.
Hán là rốt ráo rồi, không còn kinh sách gì
So,
nữa,
like
thì
in the
chúng ta
Arahantship,
ở trong cái nhà đại thừa,
um,
tối thượng thừa,
those
thì
achieve the
chúng ta chỉ
Arahantship
chứa nổi
only
cái tiểu thừa thôi.
practice
Nói
the
tiểu thừa
traditionalist
không phải là nó là nhỏ hay là lớn
Buddhism.
hay là gì ha, mà nó có cái
Traditionalist
chất của nó là
Buddhism
có
is
hai
not
cái
about uh,
mới phá được cái nhân ngã chấp thôi.
small
Đối
or
với đại thừa thì
large
nó cao
vehicle,
hơn, đối với tối thượng thừa thì cao hơn.
but this is
Đối với lại
conservative
chủng tánh đó là
practice in the
đó là
Buddhism.
một loại chủng tánh đặc biệt.
Um, and
Thì
Mahayana
có duyên để gặp đại thừa
tradition,
thì vẫn tiếp nhận được tiểu thừa. Nhưng mà khi mà gặp tiểu
and
thừa
for
thì
those
họ
who
không
in
nhận được
this
tiểu thừa,
Mahayana tradition
cho nên họ lên đại thừa.
able
Và
to
đại thừa thì
receive
biết
the seed
rằng cái con
from
đường
the
buông bỏ tiểu thừa
traditionalist
để mà đi
practice,
thẳng vào cái Phật tánh là tiểu
and
thừa.
if they able to
Để mà
continue on, they
đối
will
với
receive the seed
hai
of
tổ sư có
the
hai
Mahayana
cách
tradition
để thích hợp,
or the
tức là
absolute
tự lên
tradition.
ngoại đạo hoặc là tự tiểu thừa. Thì ra ngoại đạo có những cái làm thiện tích đức,
So in the
làm tánh
other
thiện, nhưng mà
religions,
không được giải
they
thoát.
also
Đối với
practice
chủng tánh bất
loving
thiện,
kindness,
đối với chủng
do
tánh
all the
bất thiện,
charities work
nhưng mà khi mà đến cái thời để giải
as
thoát
similar
họ
to
không
the
giải thoát được.
Buddhist tradition,
Cái thời Đức Phật cũng rất
but
là nhiều
they
người hành
don't.
giả,
Their
các
goal
vị
is not
sĩ,
to achieve the
các bà
awakening.
la môn đều cũng y như vậy. Họ ở
So
họ
in
tu đầm
the
la môn
ancient time,
là
during the Buddha time,
cái lập tức
um,
chuyển liền,
they
giống như thiền
the
liên, giống như sư cô nói. Không
there
hai
there
ngày
were
mà
different
nhiều
outside of Buddhist tradition practitioners, and when they had an opportunity to meet the Buddha, they seat in the practice from outsider to the true Buddhism, true Buddhist practitioner. So in this, basically, it has come from our own karmic seeds that we had from previous life. So therefore, the Buddha has said that there are 84,000 doors, 84,000 sufferings, or 84,000 different kind of mentality suffering. So the Buddha developed the 84,000 way of helping sentient beings. So during the Buddha time, he taught the Vasataka teaching, the highest teaching. So the Mahayana teaching, he 8 years, and the traditionalist teaching or Hinayana. So the for the Mahaprajna teaching, he spent 22 years, and the Lotus teaching and others Mahayana teaching, he spent the total total of 49 years. So at the end, the last teaching of the Buddha in the Vulture Peak mountain, he passed down the last teaching without saying a word by raising this lotus. So this means that this is the absolute teaching, no words. So all these teachings with the different methods have been written down and teaching through step by step. And for this Zen practice, there's no such words passing down, because this is according to the last teaching of the Buddha when he raised the lotus. So there's no such words recorded, and this is called the patriarch Zen teaching. So that is why this teaching is very special and very difficult for normal practitioner able to understand right away. So only based on the records of the transmissions between patriarch and patriarch passing down, that's how this teaching is still exists until this day and age. So this Zen master Nguyệt Khuê, he translated and organized the 4 major teachings, and the great Zen master Taihu also tried to, the Chinese Zen master, he tried to reestablish the Buddhism, Chinese Buddhism, with the eight lineage. So some of the Vietnamese Zen master also tried to re-establish the foundational Buddhism in Vietnam. So for the Vietnamese Buddhism, influenced by the Chinese Buddhism, all the texts, were in Chinese, and not a lot of people were able to understand the teaching. So it was a very difficult time for Vietnamese Buddhism to develop accordingly because of the language barrier. So this is saying all about the teaching of the Buddha has been passed down to many lineage, in many traditions, many different languages, and it's going to be really hard for practitioner able to get down to the core of the teaching. So Buddhist practitioners sometimes they take refuges, which is, that is helps them to alleviate from the cycle of birth and death. But when they take the refuge in the three gems, they get stuck in the tradition, and then they're not able to get out, and their afflictions, their problems, the behaviors is still the same. They're not able to transform their mentality or formation. So even though we are Buddhists, but we're not able to liberate ourselves. And we continue to take a rebirth in the animal realms and pay back all the karmics that we sow. So when we talking about Pure Land, is we recite the Buddha name, and the master Ấn Quang, he the one who propagate the Pure Land practice, and there are many different lineage or traditions or sects. So there are 8 great sects in Chinese Buddhism, and also influence in the Vietnamese Buddhism as well. But not a lot of people propagate the patriarchs, and this is the practice from doubt to awakening. So even the people they practice this tradition of Zen, not able to, if they're not able to raise the doubt, then they're not able to go anywhere with this practice. So when we're talking about the Pure Land, you have to have the vow and the virtue in order to achieve awakening. And this method is also very difficult. And people, even though they recite the Buddha names, but also they still have their big ego. So the true meaning of reciting the Buddha name is to eliminate our ego. So the flower garlands tradition also teaching about how to alleviate the suffering. And so it doesn't matter what tradition people practice, they still not able to get down to the absolute practice because of our karmic seeds that keep growing in our mind. So the four major practices, we have to distinguish between the gradual path and a certain path. So when we're talking about the patriarch Zen, it's not it's not created by the patriarchs, but it's from the Buddha. So so when a patriarch found the awakening, they continue with the teaching of the Buddha. And so whoever wants to become a Buddhist, and when people they take refuge in the Buddha, so that's our main teacher. Everyone has one main teacher, that's the Buddha, or the principal teacher. So every teachers below that, or patriarchs, they are the continuation of the Buddha. So that is the right view when we're talking about people. They try to distinguish. They say that the patriarch Zen is not belong to Buddhism, or is not from the Buddha. So when we share this with people, the Buddhists, only those who really truly understand, but not any other people, they don't really understand. We don't have to waste time to talk about that to them. So when we're talking about a traditional Buddhism, they based on the Four Noble Truths. So the Agama is their main teaching. So basically, they based on the protecting the guard the six skandhas, six senses, six faculties, and they contemplate on this the impurity. So that then they can stop the unwholesome acts. So they were not able to receive the Mahayana teaching or the Bodhisattva ways. So the Buddha only passed down the basic teaching. So the Noble Truth, suffering, the cause of suffering, the end of suffering, and the way of liberate. So the path, so they go through each path of the Four Noble Truths. So this is the practice of the Arahats. And this is the path that they can believe in, and they can abide into this path. And eventually they have to practice the 37 methods of self-elimination or self-attachment. So they have to get rid of this self-attachment before they can achieve the Arahats. So the teaching of the Arahats is always abide into the something to achieve. So this still in the relativity. It's not absolute. So the Arahats practice based on the contemplation. So it's based on this dualistic understanding. So this the highest achievement in this path is the Arahats. They only end the birth and death of the body. But they not completely achieve the Buddhahood yet. So the next level is the individual achievement or Buddha individual. This is the path that they practice based on the 12 links. So from the ignorance to all the way to the birth and death, the 12 links, old age and death. Sorry. So in this path they try to break the links of the 12 links from the ignorant to the old age and death. So this is the solitary individual practice, or they call Parajita path. So those are the 12 codependence arising, the 12 links. So that's only so the hearers or the Arahats path only get rid of the end of the body rebirth and death, but the Paratika path is only ends the mind that the first beginning of mind that they try to achieve. So up until the middle way is still in the practice of And I think there's a book mentioned about all this difference between all these practices. And this is very general views for different tradition or for different practices. So there is the Bodhisattva path. It's about release of the self-attachment or self-ego. So this is the Mahayana. So the next level is get rid of the beginner thoughts, and the next level is end of the thoughts, and the last one is absolute. And this is the path that do not use any kind of skillful practice. So any other path or practice below this absolute is based on the conditions, based on the skillful means. So this is the path that directly go to one own minds. So the lower one is basically materialistic practice, and then go to the metaphysics practice. But in the absolute path, we swipe all the materialistic or metaphysical practice also eliminate. So the teaching of the absolute path is there wasn't a lot of written down records. So only the Zen master able to pass down the teaching. And this Zen tradition is help practitioners go directly into the mind. Go directly to self nature and achieve the awakening. So there are four Mahayana. There are four yanas. So we need to distinguish which one is which. And if we practice, but we don't know which one we practice, and so in this tradition, the patriarch Zen, the practice is not all about focus on the practice. If you are a layman or laywoman, you can still carry on your life. You can be emergent and so on. But as long as you don't attach to whatever you do, you don't attach to it. And you can also in this path is also have some kind of bodhisattva's practice as well. When you been accused of for something that you didn't do, but as a bodhisattva, you don't care what people they try to accuse you. So as long as you continue with the practice, so as practitioners, if we able to carry on the practice for the Buddha, the true teaching, so we just direct our practice into the mind. So we if we able to know which tradition we practice, we just focus on that. So there's a question. So in this practice, how can we the three emptiness or the six parameter, so the three charity practice or donation dana. So you don't see you are a giver, and you don't see the one who receive your gift, and you don't basically see none of this action happen. So this is the practice, the non-emptiness. So when you give someone and you tell someone that don't tell anyone, which is you already not you still in this attachment. It's not the emptiness. So when you just give and give, just give whatever you give and done with it. So when people they practice direct their mind into the wholesomeness, and you support them as much as you can. So there's a brother. I want to ask a question. Thank you, thầy, for your teaching yesterday. The wisdom of the prajna is just like the sun. The sun is always there. It's only the cloudy block the sun. While I was practicing hotel today, before heaven and earth came to existence, where was I? So before I could see the cloud very, very tied up, block the sun. But today I can get a glimpse the space between the cloud. I don't really rely on all this thoughts. So I could see that I feel there's liberation in that, and I want to encourage myself to practice because I can see that I can get the good result. And the more I ask the question, the open up between the two cloud, the gap is getting bigger. So can you reconfirm this? Is this the neurosis thoughts, or the true experience of the self-attachment? Because I can see it. That's why I can see the liberation. I can choose follow it or not follow it. And because of the hotel question. So you need to practice more. because you are not awakened yet. You still in the dream world, but at least you trust in your own mind. So this is what I'm trying to say is to see the words of the Buddha and the patriarch. So it's only a tiny bit of the experience of the Zen. So between the illusion and realization, we are not completely returned to the wisdom mind yet. Right now, we're able to know that we have discursive thoughts, but you're not you're not able to see the absolute wisdom yet. So even though you distinguish discursive thoughts and non-discursive thought, and maybe some people, some other practitioners, they say they don't even see any discursive thought at all. And back, during the Zen master Wei, he was in Canada, and he was at this scientific event, and they measure the brain waves. They measure the people without practice Zen. They saw a lot of spikes in the diaphragm, the measurement. But when they measure the Zen master, they didn't see any waves coming. So because this is based on the discursive minds and non-discursive mind. So when practitioners, enter the Zen practice, people say that they start practice and they don't have a lot, they don't have discursive thought, but actually that is still illusion. It's still self-attachment. So when we listen to the teaching of the Buddha, self-attachment, ignorance, all the angers for certain thing, and someone they able to recognize at first, but the more they practice, the more they listen to the teaching, they're able to distinguish their own self-attachment and their self-nature. So this is based on your practice. So this is based on the discursive mind lead you to this thinking. And Buddha's teaching is, this absolute teaching is based on non-dual, but you still see the dual in this sharing. So when you completely leave this dreamy world, then you're able to see the whole picture. But you still in this dreamy world, you cannot completely see that. So when you wake up completely like the Buddha, then you're able to see the differences. So when people they see in the dreams, they maybe experience happiness, excited, but when they woke up and they couldn't find that they are the the lottery winner. So only when you awake from your illusion, then you're able to see your cell nature. But right now, we're not able to see our cell nature yet. So because we are still in this dream world or illusion, and we still experience suffering, we still experience affliction all the time. Do you understand? Yes. Yes, I can see that I still attached to my thinking, this view is basically, I can see that I try to this is an analogy, the ocean, the water, and the waves, and I try to fix everything in the ocean. So if you practice the right way, this absolute, if you practice this absolute path, you're able to let go of your self-attachment. So there's no more time left. Thank you, and we're going to do the walking meditation.